This is The Fix, where we also dig into the young Turks and all the cool stuff we're talking about here in South Africa. Joining me is actor, brand ambassador and entrepreneur Maponyane. Maps, good evening. Welcome to the program. Very squeezed, very tight. You have come so far from acting to being a model on the front covers of GQ to the best dressed man, and of course now brand ambassador to Investec. You are not the lost generation, you're the next generation.
Good evening and thank you so much for having me. I've had a lot of awesome opportunities, and I think I've just been trying to make the most of them as much as possible, trying to expand as much as possible, and also I think to reinvent myself as much as possible so that you don't end up boxing yourself into one thing, keeping people guessing as to where you are and also where you're going, what you're doing, and what really you're locked down to. Yeah. I try not to be boxed at all.
I love that idea of reinventing yourself. How do you do that when you're a young person, when so many people say to you, you don't have the required experience?
I think a lot of the time, if people say that, I think I've always been sort of driven to then go and create the experience for myself. So try and start your own small little thing. Try take little videos. Get out there and ask to be a PA for this and that.
You haven't just done small things. I mean, you are launching a fashion brand. You are a brand ambassador for Mercedes-Benz. You have really just moved very, very fast. If there's one thing that you can point to that is responsible for this growth, what would it be?
I'd say my curiosity, probably one of the main things. Curiosity. People ask me, how could you describe yourself? And it's curious, which is why I sort of do this and that and all over the place. And I think a drive and want to be the best that I can possibly be and exceed or reach as many of my different potentials. There's so much to do out there, so why would you limit yourself?
Now, of course, you were also in a movie that everybody loved. I mean, you were absolutely amazing in it. You also have a very famous dad. How does it work when you have business arrangements with family, but things go wrong? And, you know, the business must continue, but the private arrangements must come to an end. How do you manage that?
I think it's important to really just keep business to business and family to family. It's obviously hard when you get into that state where things are a little bit iffy and money gets in the way. But I've always tried to separate that as much as possible. You know, business with friends and family is always a little bit of a risky thing. Final
tip to young people. It's the month of June, 42nd anniversary of June 16th. Your tip to South African youngsters?
You know, honestly, it's obviously really difficult right now in terms of opportunities, but there are a lot of opportunities out there. Make the most of it. Use everything that is around you to try get out there as much as possible. Make use of social media. I think more and more youngsters are doing as much as they can with that, and really just get your skill or want or desire to do whatever it is you want to out there as much as you can, and you know, eventually things will come together.
And when they come together, how do you stay real?
I think you stay to knowing who you are, being true to yourself, not getting caught up in the hype, and making sure that you don't compromise the person that you are for what it is that you're doing. And I think, you know, once you've gotten to a certain point for being who you are, why would you change that and be someone else?
That is, of course, the brilliant Maponyane joining me here on The Fix. Now that you've had your fix for the week, we'll see you again next Sunday night with, of course, a well-rested and tanned Peter Bruce, who's away in Greece on holiday.